Okay, so thank you for taking time to speak with us today. Yes, my name's Nathan Tembo, and my note taker is Lucy Mkuka. Yes, we are working with Palm Associates together with American Institute for Research. So we are here because we are evaluating the Millennium Challenge Corporation Innovation Grant Program. Yes, so we are doing the evaluation and looking at the role which you are playing. It's a very important role. So I would like to learn from you about your experience and also the knowledge about the Innovation Grant Program. What has worked and what has not worked. So what can be improved. And through this Millennium Challenge Corporation, they would also like to know how it can be improved in future. Yes, and I would also want to say that even as we'll be discussing, the information will be confidential. Yeah, it won't be shown to other people who are not involved in this program. So now feel free to give the responses. Okay, so don't be scared. No, maybe someone who is not involved might get this information. No, it will be kept confidential.
Okay.
Your participation is also voluntary. And looking at even the way we'll be interacting, it can take maybe 1 hour or so, depending on how the answers are coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so I cannot give like a blanket that will take this number of minutes.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, so looking at these few things I've explained, do you have any questions?
First and foremost, I would like also to introduce ourselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
My name's George Rupasha Mwamba.
Okay.
I'm the project director.
Okay.
And my colleague, Mr.
Yes.
Piri.
Mr. Piri.
Yes, Mr. Peter Piri.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's our accountant.
He's the accountant.
Yes.
Okay.
We are supposed to be 5 in this office.
Okay.
We have Mr. Kalua, Kelvin
Yes.
Kalua,
Okay.
who is the financial director and the consultant.
Okay.
And then we have Mrs. Mlenga Nyanja.
Okay.
She was also accounts and M&E.
Okay.
So that's the total of the team in the office.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thanks so much for that information.
My colleagues, they have excused themselves because of this meeting court. ACCA meeting, what do you call it? Where Mr. Kalua has gone.
It's a MCA meeting.
No.
Okay.
It has to do with the ACCA.
Oh, ACCA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is where they have gone. Because that day you said you were coming, I think we were all set.
Oh, you are all set.
Yes.
So I think it was
5 of
changed
us are
later.
here.
Okay. Wow. The timetable we received, the latest one, is showing today.
Oh,
I was
okay.
explaining to Mr. P.
No, actually, we called Mr. Mwanamwa, Mr. Simon Mwanamwa.
Okay.
To find out.
Mr. Simon,
He just said, no, we'll get back to you, but we know that showing Friday.
Okay. Oh, that's what he said.
Yes, saying Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
Afternoon, morning.
Morning, yes.
Then afternoon, we saw that it was at Afsham.
After Missouri. Okay, I think that timetable was changed. Okay.
Anyway, from what you have said, I think there's anything that we can take out and we'll take it. It's
Okay.
better we proceed with it.
We proceed with the
Yes.
questions.
If
Okay.
there's anything as we go along.
As we go along,
Yes, then
yes.
we'll be.
Yeah. Okay. So do you also consent like us recording this interview? It's okay
Yeah, I
with you?
think with me, this is now the 4th time I'm seeing this machine before. Yeah, he has been coming with this kind of.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that's really nice.
What is important, what is only wrong if you are telling a lie?
Yes.
Then that's wrong. But if what I'm saying is right and I have no worry.
No worry,
What I
yes.
said was, I don't think it will be offending anybody
Yes.
when I'm trying to tell the truth. Because we learn from these things.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Because even MCC, MCA Zambia, they would also want to learn and see how the program can be improved in the
Oh,
future.
yeah.
That's the whole purpose. Yes. So they would really be happy to hear the experiences. Okay, so we would like to begin our conversation today by doing a round of introductions and discussing your knowledge of MCA Zambia's Innovation Grant Program. So the introduction was already done. Okay. Basically, in that one, we're looking at like introducing yourself. Maybe the component which was lacking is how long you've lived in this community.
Okay.
Yes.
Kaunda Square Stage 2.
Yes.
I think I came in 1989. When I just left school.
You came in 1989.
1989. I was here
Okay.
trying to establish this house.
Okay.
But
So
basically for the waste management, we started operating in 2005.
2005. Okay. And the first thing you told us, okay, then in this position, for how long have you been in this position?
Of waste collection? Or
The position now as a project director.
Yeah, as a project director, it came in when the Millennium Challenge grant was granted to us. That's when I became
The project director. So
Yeah,
that was
initially
when?
from 2005. We were about three. If you look at our company, it says GP and J.
Yes.
It tells that there's George, Patricia, and James.
Oh, those are the names. George.
Yeah, there was George.
Yes.
And then Patricia.
Okay.
And then James.
Okay.
That's how we formed this company. We took the initials of all those who are called the directors when
the directors.
The company.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're about four of us, and our Reverend Lady Chancellor was our chair for this company.
Oh, he was the chair.
Yeah, when we started, that was the arrangement that waste management said you have to form up a company, and then it should be in that setup.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then, Mr. P2, what is your position at the organization, this organization, and for how long have you been in this position?
An accountant, and I've been here from May 2018 to date.
From May 2018
yes.
to date. Okay. So I come to you, I'll be referring to you as P1.
No
P2.
problem, sir.
Yes. So P1, what are your responsibilities in this position as related to the IGP?
Well, my responsibility as a project director in grants and innovation,
yes,
is to coordinate the whole program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, coordinating the whole program.
The whole program, yes.
Okay. Then Mr. Peter, P2.
My responsibility is sure that the project's funds are well managed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for that. So we are going to the next stage, which is perceived benefits and outcomes of the IGP. We would now like to ask you some questions about the outcomes of the organization's intervention in Lusaka. What have been the main achievements of your project to date?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have scored many successful stories. As you can see outside, there are a lot of machinery packed.
Yes, I saw that.
I think we'll take you to the site to see what we used to use previously.
Okay.
Which used to be called a pushy cart.
Oh, pushy cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a thing that would be pushed with 5 people, not 3.
Not 3?
Not 3. And it should be able-bodied men.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we received this grant, I think it has, as you were coming in stage 2, you could even see the change that
yes.
It's clean.
Yes, no, we noticed that.
And we managed to buy these equipments you are seeing outside, because our innovation was about equipment.
Okay.
Yes. tricycles, and
Okay.
then a hook lift truck.
Okay.
Yeah, but initially it was just about the tricycle.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the main innovation. Our idea was, we found the challenge that in our business of waste management was, my concern was, or my idea was, let's alleviate poverty through solid waste management.
Yes.
So that's how I started this.
Okay.
So when we started, we found that we could only have men around, and there
Just
was no
men
female.
around.
Yes,
Okay.
because of the nature of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, pushing the pushy carts, then load the container.
Yes.
So it was a bit hard. So we thought of how do we bring in the women for
Yes.
the business,
Yeah.
because they also have challenges of their own.
Yes.
So that's how we thought, if we could have the simplest machine that they could also join in and participate.
Yeah.
That's how we thought of these tricycles.
Okay.
Initially, if you look, there are two types.
Okay.
They are green are 4 and blue are 3.
Okay.
Yeah. The idea for the green
Yes.
was for any able-bodied person can drive.
Okay.
But my idea for the blue,
Yeah.
I wanted also to incorporate the physically challenged.
Okay, that's for the blue.
Yeah, that I was seeing in the community.
Yes.
So I thought, let's also package them in this, because we all have same problems.
Yes.
Yeah. So this was the whole idea about this innovation.
Okay.
Yeah. So along the way, when we discovered that after we were discussing with Millennium Challenge, we discovered that yes, our idea was to do only primary waste collection.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to collect from the community
Yes.
and take it to the transit point, which we call the secondary.
Or transit point
Yes.
before taking to the dump site.
Yes.
Okay.
Our role from as a GP&J was just to do primary.
Okay.
Then the council was
Yes.
doing the secondary
The secondary.
by lifting the green containers.
Okay.
Yeah. So after seeing that the council had a lot of problems in lifting up the containers,
Yes.
so we begin to engage our colleagues to say, "Oh, yes, we'll have these equipments,
Yes.
and we'll be doing the collection of primary from the community. But we are looking at the site where we'll be putting this waste,
Yeah.
which will be now, instead of being a transit point, it will be another landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we will just be piling.
Piling there.
Yeah. Because we even took them and see how sometimes we believe in the container
Yes.
is filled with waste and it can't be lifted.
Wow.
So that's how they brought the idea. I said, I think there's need for a secondary collection truck. That's how this truck came in as a package.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have the tricycles
Tricycles
and the hook lift truck,
and the hook lift.
which we have just found it's gone to the dump site, it has lifted the container.
Okay.
Yeah, it parks here.
Okay.
Yes.
So far on the achievements, I can see the purchase of this, the tricycle, the hook lift truck.
Yeah.
Anything else on the achievements?
We were given money for the tricycle,
Okay.
then we were given money for the hook lift truck,
Okay.
we were given money for the office you are seeing.
Oh, even for the office.
Oh yes, we were just operating under the tree.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we have computers, you can see all the thing is there. We are even able now to employ the cashier, the main manager, and all that.
Yeah.
So we are also given money. We proposed also that our slab, we should build a slab at our site,
Okay. At the
where
market.
we'll be putting the container.
Okay.
Yeah. Then at the same site, we were given money again to do what? To do the fencing.
The fencing.
Yeah, because of the illegal dumping was.
Oh yeah.
You find you clean, then in the night you
In the
find
night
another
people
mountain.
come.
Because every vehicle just drive there and then dump.
Did you think of putting someone there guarding the place?
Actually, if I tell you that even now we have a guard 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah, even when there's a fence, we have a guard, Mr. Gift Piri, who is there. I think he knocks off. He starts from 05 is there.
05.
Then you knock off around 8 hours. Then
In the morning?
night, yes. Then in the night it starts from 17 until when he's tired.
Until when he's tired?
Yes.
So when it gets tired, then people would go in now.
At least we have noticed the period that they flog with this waste. So we have that guard there from the time the project started.
No.
Yeah. Because even now you find there is waste outside the fence.
Outside the fence?
Yes.
And you are supposed to collect that waste yourselves?
This
Even
is a
if
challenge we face here because we can't leave it there. And that's unpaid waste.
Unpaid, yes.
Yes. So this is what is happening. So these are the money that we were given by Millennium Challenge. The total was about $100,000 US.
Okay.
Where there was $7,000 for the truck, and then there are other expenses.
Okay.
So as you can see, the boys it's on that you have found they are not in the attire.
Okay.
Yeah, we managed to acquire. We were limping in terms of PPE.
Okay.
Yeah, protecting clothing.
Yes.
So we managed to bought the protecting clothing from the same money.
Okay.
We bought also tools.
Tools also.
Yeah, because also had the challenges of tools. So this money really has changed the face of our company.
Okay.
Yes.
Can even see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look brand new, as you can see, because of the innovation grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
As we are standing, we are at 100% utilization.
Utilization. Okay. I'll get more details as we go. Yeah. And if there is nothing else, apart from that, then we can move to the next one.
You want to add anything?
Mr. Piri? Okay, nothing. Okay. So, as you know, there are several objectives of the IGP. So I'll be going through the objectives, then I'll be asking you questions related to those objectives. So the first objective is to increase and sustain the access of the poor to quality water and sanitation and improved drainage maintenance through solid waste management. How do you believe your project helped to achieve this IGP objective?
If you saw it includes water there, us is just solid waste.
Just solid waste. So for you, it's the part of solid waste.
Solid waste.
Like improved drainage maintenance through solid waste management.
Yeah, us actually was improve efficiency.
Okay.
And then that was improving efficiency collections.
Okay.
And what else? Yeah, it's a pity when you're alone. Yeah, we forget. Yeah, it was about improving efficiency.
Yes.
In collections of solid waste.
Solid waste.
And
Okay.
then it was also about scaling up to other surrounding areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So I can see there is a component of solid waste in this first objective.
That is our.
So then what factors, how do you believe your project helped to achieve this objective?
The funds we received from Millennium Challenge really helped.
Okay.
As I'm taking now, we seem to be the stakeholder in this community because of the same funds.
Wow.
We never used to be recognized.
Yes.
But now, I think even if you told anyone to say, where are these companies?
Yes.
They would have told you straight to say it's there.
This
Because of these funds that came in, because they are seeing us all over.
all over.
Yeah, and we are doing our job because of the same.
The same funds. So what factors helped you achieve this objective? Are there any other factors? Please highlight specific project examples.
Yeah. The main factor was about the
Purchase of
yes. We used to have challenges.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't even see ourselves going anywhere if we didn't have these equipments.
Okay.
So these equipments were key to us.
Yes.
And then the secondary correction for the track.
Yes.
Because now we are not waiting for the council.
Okay, so even the secondary collection also
We are doing it from the community
yes
to our dump site. We are doing the sorting out from there.
Okay.
Recycling just there. Then after our driver is remaining, we load in the container to the landfill. Yes.
Okay.
So these are two key things that has make this company to move on.
Okay. And after saying those factors, would you give us the factors which you think hindered the organization's ability to achieve this objective? Were there any factors, any challenges?
Yeah, challenges are many, though I can't itemize everything.
Okay.
Yeah, the first challenge being a Zambian,
Yes.
is
And
the issue of this political interference.
okay, and related to this first objective.
Yes.
Okay.
Because as our project was to scale up to other areas,
Yes.
we couldn't because of these political issues.
Okay. So you couldn't scale up.
We haven't up to now basically we were supposed to be in Kamanga
Okay.
and Foxtail.
Okay. That's
Yes.
right.
Including Obama, because this was our idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Now because of politics and the nature of the council to move fast,
Yes.
we have only concentrated now in this Kaunda Square Stage 2.
Okay.
Because of the equipment, now they are saying that we are working.
Yes.
We have been given now another area, which
Okay.
is the next one, Casanova.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Which was not initially our thinking.
Okay.
And then the other area we have been given again is the Monali extension. Yes.
Okay.
Because of our colleagues who were given that area not managing to do the work.
Okay.
And this market now we are.
For this market now.
Yes. Otherwise, you
Okay.
could have found the power where they put that they contain.
Yes.
You could even
I
see the way it looks.
Yes, now it looks good.
We were collecting yesterday, so
Okay.
those are the other challenges. The other challenge is, when you are receiving a new system,
Yes.
it comes in with its own challenges.
Yeah.
First, we had the challenges to establish ourselves,
Okay.
so that we can manage these funds that we were told these are other people's taxpayers' money,
Yes.
of which I was mindful that we are one of the lucky people that could have this taxpayers' money. And the question was, how do we manage these funds?
Yes.
Because we are on the record that Zambians, when you give them money, they squander the money.
Yeah.
So that was ringing in my mind all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So establishing the offices and identifying the people that we can work with over these funds in the beginning was a challenge.
Okay.
And looking at the way again Millennium Challenge was pushing and IGP.
Yes.
So it poses a big challenge. But from there, we have
Yes.
learned a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll go to the second objective. P2, do you have any additions to what you have said?
On the challenges.
On the factors which hinder the organization's ability to achieve this objective, the first objective.
On the one of the factors is, I would say, when it comes to gender.
Okay, gender.
At first there was resistance of women coming on board
Okay.
because of the stigma that you are getting from the community.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But as at now, at least we've managed to get onto the number that was required by IGP. At least
The number of women.
The minimum number, at least.
Okay. Okay.
The other one I think was, we are living in a peri-urban community.
Yes.
So where most of the poor people are found.
Yeah.
We have this which is supposed to be business.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Now the compliance levels again.
Compliance.
Yes, a bit of a challenge. Not a bit, it was a challenge.
Was a challenge.
Now we are slowly breaking it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the biggest problem, compliance.
Compliance.
People to say, okay, this is our system, it has come to help us.
Yes.
Let's be paid. We started with 7 kwacha.
Okay.
Yeah. So
7
we've been
kwacha.
growing like that, yes.
Okay.
Because the idea was, let's make the people get used to the system.
Yes.
Because if we put a figure, then others would follow.
Yeah.
So that was another challenge.
Ah.
And again, illegal dumping.
So illegal dumping.
Yes. Was also another challenge. Would you pay for the container?
Yes.
Then you find shortly it is filled up with people who haven't paid.
Yeah.
So
And you are forced to
Yeah,
collect this
you have
and-
to collect and pay for the, because by then we were paying for the collector.
Oh.
It was not collected for free. So you'd find the container would go without any money from the community.
Wow.
So you would use other funds.
Other funds.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were happy with Millennium Challenge because there was that fact of dumping fees.
No.
In
Okay.
the,
Oh, there was that fact.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it
was
really
at
helped
least-
for us even to, that's why you are seeing anything
Yes.
would go, because that time there was that fact of
Okay.
the dumping
fee.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll go to the second objective. To enhance the functioning of the water supply, sewerage, and drainage systems.
Yeah.
How do you believe your project helped to achieve this IGP objective?
Our project actually it has helped a lot in terms of drainage.
Okay.
Because initially, those people were not paying or were not complying.
Yes.
Their dumping site mostly was the drainage systems.
Okay.
They would just go there, dump there.
In the drainage system.
Yes, well, actually you'd find all the drainage would be filled up.
Wow.
And if you hear during the rainy season, you'd find even the sewer lines
Yes.
would be submerged full of solid waste. And most of the blockage actually even on the sewer lines
Yes.
was part of solid waste
Wow.
in this area of stage 1 and 2. So this project actually,
Yes.
it has really done a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are collecting from these people.
Yes.
So they are not thinking of taking it to the drainage.
To the drainage.
Yeah, because mostly it was the most hiding place,
The drainage.
the drainage.
And there's no one there to.
Wow, who would care?
Yeah.
You see, they only think about the drainage when the rain season comes.
And they would say, no, Boma Yangane.
Yanganepo, and when they have water in their homes,
Yeah.
because the drainages have been
Yes.
sealed.
Blocked. Sealed.
So if you look at the way water comes here,
Yes.
you'll be worried
When it rains.
when it rains. But now, I think people could walk smiling because
Yeah.
there are no more such. Yeah, there may be one or two, but
Yes.
I'm sure this project has done wonders,
Yeah.
particularly in this stage 2.
This stage
we live
two.
in.
Wow.
Yeah. We have only one challenge of the draining, which is the main drain at the end of stage 2.
The main drain, that big one.
That big one is. That's up to now is still a challenge.
Okay.
Because that drain, anyone who is passing with a car will just throw there.
Oh.
Others come because we cannot protect everywhere.
Yes. It
Yeah.
cannot be everywhere.
Otherwise, we have reported these. We have done a lot of sensitization on that area
No.
to say, please, if you see one, tell us,
Yes.
or just get the number plate.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
this guy will drop this and it's you who's going to die with cholera.
Yes.
Yeah. At least it has minimized even if you see waste there, but not the way it used to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say, P2, on the factors which you believe your project helped to achieve this objective? Objective number 2. Okay. Then my next question on this objective number 2: what factors hindered the organization's ability to achieve this objective?
I think it's the
Or
hindrance.
you achieved it?
We have.
You have achieved it.
We have achieved it.
Okay.
Yeah. We have achieved it.
Okay. Then I'll go to the third objective: to demonstrate an innovative approach or technology to improve water use, sanitation, and hygiene practices among the poor.
Okay. On that
How
one,
do you believe your project helped to achieve this IGP objective? What factors can you talk about?
actually, it's tremendous. Previously,
Yes.
would not have opened this door.
Okay.
When it's hot like this, because you would find flies.
Flies. Okay.
Yeah. And there was a lot of diarrhea diseases
Ah,
because of uncollected waste which was falling around the area. Yeah. So this project, these funds,
Yes.
has really helped. We used to have a lot of rats.
A lot of rats.
Yes. stray
Okay.
dogs that could come to feast from these uncollected waste.
Wow.
Yeah, so now I don't think you'd even walk and find a lying dog rotting
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would generate like flies or whatever.
Your project is also responsible for collecting the like dead dogs, or is the council?
When it is dead, it's part of solid waste.
Okay. So that's your responsibility in short.
That's a thing. But by law, that thing is supposed to be paid for, and it's supposed to be collected by Lusaka City Council.
Yes.
Not me as an individual or private company. But since there is no council there, we
Yes.
cannot let the lying dog, the dead dog on the street.
Okay.
We take that responsibility. Even fetus.
You collect
What do we do?
part of solid waste.
As long as we inform if they won't take it anyway. Sometimes we don't even know. It will be there in sacks.
Or it will be in sacks.
Yes. People put these things in sacks.
Oh.
And then just tie there. Then
Yes.
bring it.
Oh, they bring
To
it
us, we'll
there.
just pick as a. But when sorting out there,
Yes.
that's when you discover it's a different solid waste.
Yeah.
So now we are used to that, and it used to be a
Yes.
challenge again to our workers because of the beliefs.
Because of the belief.
The beliefs, yes. You know, they say no, go and tabaka popo to be
Oh.
this, you be solid, and then it took a number of time to conscientize our people to say, look, what about the police officers who come to collect? What type of medication are they using?
Yes.
And when they collect this, they even take it to the hospital.
To the hospital, yes.
Yeah, what type of medication are they using?
Yes.
It's just psychology.
Now for you, when you find the fetus there, you just collect and take to the dump site, or
No,
you
when
do
we find
inform
the
the
fetus,
police.
we have to inform the police.
The police.
Yeah,
Yes.
because that's a different solid waste now.
Yeah, that's a different,
Yeah,
very
we
different.
have to inform them that there is a human being,
Yeah.
because now it's a human being.
It's a human being.
It is supposed to have a report.
Yes.
Yeah, so we do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if it is beyond, they would just say, look, we can't take this anyway.
Oh yeah.
It will
When
end
it's
up at
rotten.
the site, yes.
Okay. So do you think of factors which hinder the organization's ability to achieve this objective?
The most hindrance was, like I mentioned earlier on, is to know ourselves better.
Okay.
And then the other thing was when the project came in,
Yes.
the policing was too much where we thought maybe we won't manage.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that again it is threatened us a bit,
Yes.
because others, as you can see, the others would come and go.
Yeah. And go.
And then when they go, you say, am I going to manage?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it also had a bit of a problem to find manpower to help out. And then
Okay.
the fees that was associated with it.
Yes.
Because in this project there was no funds for professionals.
No fun. And you are supposed to employ professionals.
Yes. There was no funds for professionals, including myself, because ourselves it used to be your own contribution.
Your own contribution, yes. There's a certain percentage
Yeah,
you contribute.
yes.
Yes, sir.
Now you find that even if there was that, but we needed that profession.
Yes.
Looking at the funds that we were collecting from the community, it could not take up the professionals that was required.
Okay.
So it was a big challenge for us.
It was a big challenge.
Yes.
So how did you go around that challenge?
We would like to have this man, Mr. Kelvin Kalova. Because
Okay.
it's not easy to bring in a consultant on the small project like this.
Yes.
So it's more like he was doing this project on nothing. If you look at 2,000 kwacha per month.
Per month. Okay. And they
So,
accepted.
Yeah, he just said, okay, let me help.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, he started by establishing the office. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he said the account system should be established.
Yes.
There was a number of things that were asked. And my worry was, wow, I'm a small person,
Yes.
but I was being told to do exactly like the Zambia breweries.
The Zambia breweries.
So now to establish those structures,
Yes.
it was a problem.
Okay.
Was the reporting, even the reporting, there was no difference to say, okay, you are a small person.
Yes.
We'll begin from here and end here.
And then it was the same. as
When the
big-
template it comes as uniform. Now the question of understanding that template,
Yes.
it was also a big problem in the first. But lucky we had this man sometimes would come and then help out too. Otherwise on our own,
Yes.
we could have failed the project.
Okay. Okay, I'll go to the next objective, which is to identify and provide assistance to innovative partnership arrangements, particularly through private sector engagement. Okay. So how do you believe your project helped to achieve this IGP objective?
I think it did because we are private.
You are private.
Yes.
Then you also identified some innovative partnership arrangements.
Like we partnered with Dewin and Kelvin, chartered accountant.
Okay, oh,
Yes.
good. That's a good partnership. That's a
Otherwise,
good example.
yes,
So you had to
without-
partner with them.
Yes. And in that partnership, you only get 2,000.
Only 2,000.
Yeah, you had to provide all the technical men to work on the project.
Okay.
Yeah. So our partnership was between GP&G and Dewin and Kelvin,
Dewin.
chartered accountant.
So what factors can you give, like, which helped you to achieve this objective of partnering?
Well, the partnering really did wonders. Because if we did not partner with them,
Yes.
we couldn't even in the first place achieve to get the funds.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the partnership, it even changed our concept of seeing things.
Okay.
Because he brought in that management system
Yes.
and the technical know-how,
Okay.
which ourselves we didn't understand.
Yes.
So we really appreciate this partnership.
Okay. So why do you think you managed to partner with them? What led to that partnership? How did you manage that?
You see, I had the idea. Okay.
You had the idea.
I had the idea.
Okay.
And this man was saying way back, it's not the first project that I'd applied for.
Okay.
I've applied for environmental funds. I've applied for Danish funds, small grant funds. And you were seeing how I was trying to. Then we began to say, look, I think I can help you. I know you have everything,
Okay.
which will be easier for me
Yes.
to do this.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's from there because he realized I had the information,
Yes.
I had the idea,
Yes.
and what we wanted to achieve.
Okay.
So when we were sitting in here,
Yes.
you'd ask me this, you'd ask, and everything I had it, even the papers, some of the papers that I was doing said, yes. He said, wow, you have everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what factors hindered the organization's ability to achieve this objective? Can you think of any factors?
Mr. Kiri, try first before I pick.
But on that one, Kai, since we have managed to partner with Kelvin and
You
Dewin,
managed to partner.
so I don't think there have been any challenges in terms of partnering with people.
Okay. So, meaning this objective has been achieved.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll go to the next objective. To provide significant access by women and vulnerable groups to the IGP and its benefits. Okay? To provide significant access by women and vulnerable groups to the IGP and its benefits. How do you believe your project helped to achieve this IGP objective?
Our project, I think it has managed to achieve that objective.
Okay.
In the first place, we didn't have women on
We
board.
didn't have women on board. Yes,
Nothing.
you mentioned that.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we are proudly saying we have 4 cashiers, for women.
Okay.
And then as we are speaking, we have 3 female waste collectors.
3 female.
Yes.
How about the vulnerable groups?
The vulnerable groups, we have a number of them.
No, okay.
You know, when you're talking about the vulnerable,
Yes.
there are those who can't do anything.
Okay.
You see?
Yes.
And there are those we call poor,
Yes.
those who are vulnerable.
Yes.
We assist by them not paying for waste collections.
Okay, that's how you assist.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you look at, we have no funds to, though I have 2 female, totally vulnerable,
Okay.
that I help out on a
Monthly basis.
yes.
You just give without them
Yeah.
providing any service.
We collect their waste at where they stay,
Okay.
and then I even on top I pay their living.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
from
that's
this little
good.
we help those
Yeah, yeah.
old ladies.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
really
because
nice.
she just used to wander with Katapa in the community in Konto.
Yeah.
So now when you look at that,
Yes.
when we were growing up, you couldn't see such kind of a thing in there.
Yeah.
But now it's common.
Yeah.
And when you ask that person, she has even children.
Who have been working?
Wow, yeah, this is, when you think, what are these, where are we going?
Yes.
So that woman, she stays there, this one will do something, rent for her, I provide for her living. And then whatever waste is generated, we
Yes.
collect.
Okay. So this objective, have you achieved it?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Now go to the last objective, is to expand opportunities for entrepreneurship and income generating activities related to water supply, sanitation, and drainage maintenance through solid waste management. So there is the component of opportunities for entrepreneurship and income generating activities related to water supply, sanitation, and drainage maintenance through solid waste management. So how do you believe your project helps to achieve this IGP objective?
Already I'm an entrepreneur now.
You are an entrepreneur.
Yes, from the CBE.
Okay.
I'm no longer CBE.
Initially, you were a CBE.
Yeah, wow. As long as you live in the peri-urban, you are called a community-based enterprise.
Enterprise.
Yeah, but now I'm an entrepreneur.
Wow.
Yeah, I have the capacity to compete with whoever says,
Yes.
I'm an entrepreneur
Yes.
in terms of solid waste management.
Okay.
We sit in the same forum now. When I
Yes.
used to be on the other side,
Yes.
I'm
Now
now
you
on
are
yes.
in the same forum.
Yes. As I'm talking, our truck, after it collects our container, it is even helping the council they are hiring to collect when they are lacking.
The council they are hiring.
Already we have collected about 6. Yesterday I was with it, I collected 4
For the council.
for the council.
They even pay you.
Yeah, we are, as I'm talking, that Bank of Zambia collecting for the council. It's not our area.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah. And my way of thinking of becoming a payment, because I'm looking at this money which came to me. It's a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
That's why I always think,
And it's a grant. You don't have to pay back.
look, whether it's paying back or not,
Yes.
it's not an easy thing to come.
Yes.
And one thing is, this is someone's man who have just said, look, I want to help you. So the question is, do I have to fail and disappoint this person? That's now has been the challenge to me.
Yes.
As if the project is phasing off,
Yes.
but now my worry is to continue.
To continue.
Uh-huh.
And I'm coming to
Competing.
that. I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
Sustainability.
Competing.
Yeah.
So I'm an entrepreneur. There's no question of even saying, no, how. If I can employ 25.
25.
Which entrepreneur? There are very few the entrepreneurs, others are 4.
Yes. So do you think the opportunities for entrepreneurship, they have been expanded, and income generating activities,
Oh, yes.
which is also benefiting the community?
Look, all these employees, others have even now opened their own Intempa, which means they are becoming what? Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs.
Through the grant funds.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
If I tell you 3/4 of these boys were not married.
They are now married.
They are not married.
That's a good one.
Yes. And we are the only company that is looking at female-headed house.
Okay.
Those
you are
who
looking
give
at those female-headed households.
Yes. Those who have married the men.
Oh.
If a woman is providing and you're not providing, which means
Yes,
you have
they
been
have
married.
married.
Yes.
A man has been married.
Yes. Eh? So it's through these funds.
Wow.
Who would not appreciate and thank God for the Americans who brought this money?
Oh yeah.
I know it not others won't see it, but really I know God is seeing.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, he's seeing. Yes. So this objective, you feel it has been achieved.
Clear. I'm just now waiting to be there. I'm not moving out even from the CBE association.
Yes,
I'm
you are
going
moving
to
out.
Yeah, I'm going to join the franchise.
The franchise.
Yes,
Wow.
that's my idea, is to join the
The
franchise.
franchise.
I've even applied for the permit, isn't it?
Yes, you are.
With Zema.
With his aim.
Yes. So what else?
Wow. Okay, so for this one, there are no factors which hindered the organization's ability to achieve this objective.
Wow. This money made it to for us to achieve.
Okay. No, thank you so much for those responses. I'm going to the next question. The next question is, what objectives were the easiest to accomplish and why? Looking at the same objectives I've been rating.
Yeah, I was on the ground before the grant started.
Okay, you're already on the ground
I
as
was
a
already on
CBE.
the ground as CBE.
Yes.
So some of these things, it was easy because I knew.
You know.
Yes. I had a few people already who could push the project up there.
Okay.
Like in terms of workers, I had a few workers that I was working with before the project. Though we were limping in paying and other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on these objectives, which ones would you say this was the easiest? Or maybe you'd want me to read through?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one was to increase and sustain the access of the poor to quality water and sanitation and improved drainage maintenance through solid waste management.
Yeah, well, it was easy because we were already on the ground and
Okay.
we knew the vulnerable and those people needed the service.
Okay, so can you classify this one as among the easiest?
The easiest was
Maybe I read another one.
Read another.
Another one, to enhance the functioning of the water supply, sewerage, and drainage systems. The next one, to demonstrate an innovative approach or technology to improve water use, sanitation, and hygiene practices among the poor. Next one, to identify and provide assistance to innovative partnership arrangements, particularly through private sector engagement. 5, to provide significant access by women and vulnerable groups to the IGP and its benefits. And the last one, to expand opportunities for entrepreneurship and income generating activities related to water supply, sanitation, and drainage maintenance through solid waste management. Which ones were the easiest?
I think the easiest there was let me see. I think bringing the poor on board. I don't know if it is vulnerable.
Okay. There's to provide significant access by women and vulnerable groups to the IGP and its benefits.
Yeah, we did that because we already knew which type of people that were supposed to benefit from this project.
Okay.
Yeah, from the because it was the component was there that these funds should benefit the vulnerable
Yes.
and the other poor people.
And other poor people. Okay.
But initially first we said, how do we start giving money for free?
Yes.
It was when they were saying they should benefit.
Yeah.
So the question was, what type of benefits?
What about benefits?
Uh-huh. But when we realized it was not directly giving them money, it's a service.
It's a service.
Yes, and those would get employed to us.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was easy for us to.
Okay, so you're saying number 5 was among the easiest. How about number 6? To expand opportunities for entrepreneurship and income generating activities. related to water supply, sanitation, and drainage maintenance through solid waste management?
Already our core business as was solid waste, and is to generate funds. We are not an NGO.
Okay.
We came in on board as a business entity.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was to generate funds
Yes.
and to become a proper entrepreneur.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you also say this was the
This
easiest?
was, yes.
So you can say the
Because we
easiest.
even managed to partner with a big consultant.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So among the two, you are saying these two were the easiest.
Yes.
Okay. 4 and 5 and 6. Which objectives were the hardest to accomplish and why?
The biggest objective, which was very difficult, first was,
Yes.
I'll be very honest.
Okay. Yes.
You know, finances are very difficult.
Finances.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, you're used to this, and then there's this, they say, fish.
Yes.
To put the system in place and then know how to utilize these funds. In the beginning, we used to have that problem. There was issues of, you know, those we were used to, you just go and buy as long as you buy what you want.
Yes.
But now there are questions of looking for invoices, looking for what. At first it used to be a problem.
So when I look at these objectives, which one would you align what you are saying with on these objectives? Because you've picked objective 5 and 6 as the easiest, so we are remaining with objectives 1 to 4. So the first one is to increase and sustain the access of the poor to quality water, sanitation, and improved drainage maintenance through solid waste management.
Even that one goes, the vulnerable are now being given a service.
Okay.
Yeah, through solid waste, which we collect from them for free.
Okay.
Previously, they used to just pile behind and there would be flies all over.
Yes.
Yeah, but now we do collect for them.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the position you look at.
I'm looking at the one which you think was the hardest on the objectives. We have identified the easiest.
Okay.
Now, which one was the hardest according to you? The second one is to enhance the functioning of the water supply, sewerage, and drainage systems. And the other one, to demonstrate an innovative approach or technology to improve water use, sanitation, and hygiene practices among the poor.
Among the poor.
Yes. Then the other one, to identify and provide assistance to innovative partnership arrangements, particularly through private sector engagement.
I think that one was, you know, it's not easy for one to get a partnership.
Okay.
I think it used to be the hardest.
The hardest.
Yes.
So, to identify and provide assistance to innovative partnership arrangements, particularly through private sector engagement.
Yeah.
So this one is the hardest.
It was the hardest.
It was the hardest.
Because that has made a lot of people fail in these projects, partnership.
Partnership.
Yes. So it was the hardest. Otherwise, if it wasn't for that component,
Yes.
I think out of 63 who applied,
Yeah.
I think maybe the 60 would have been.
Picked.
It would have been, yes. Now, to establish that partnership, one would look at what is it that you have.
Yes.
That would make him interest to partner with you, because you have to show.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the biggest.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. We are going to the implementation part. Thank you for these responses. We would now like to ask you some questions about management and the supervision under the IGP. Yes. So my question is, what worked well related to IGPM's management and the supervision of your project? For example, reporting, achievement of milestones, monitoring and evaluation. What went well? IGPM is COWI.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Congress.
Yes. So what went well?
I think what went well is the way they used to help out in
Okay.
establishing the structures.
The structures.
Yes.
Okay.
Because imagine we were people who didn't have structures.
Yeah.
So when they came in, they would say, no, this is how we should do it.
Okay.
And this is how we want it.
Okay.
So I think to me that was very well.
Wow.
Because without them maybe saying, do this,
Yes.
you shouldn't do this,
Yeah.
I think we could have been different.
Okay.
Yeah. Their supervision really worked because
Their supervision.
They are on you bumper to bumper.
Even in terms of reporting?
Well, if you talk about reporting, I don't
Yes.
know how many emails they would send
Okay.
if it's not done in the manner that they would feel it's correct.
Okay.
Even if you don't know, they would send maybe 3-4 templates for you just
Okay.
to say, okay, this is what.
Wow.
But again, they were flexible to say, okay, this is okay,
Yes.
but can you put it in this format?
In this format.
I think they,
Yeah.
I congratulate them.
Any other aspects? You talked of reporting. How about the issue of achieving the milestones?
That was it. Yeah, it wasn't easy.
That wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy.
So you can't say that worked well.
It didn't work well because these milestones were attached to many things.
Okay.
Find you are working on this one, which are the 8 milestones are the 10, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Even if you achieve this, as long as this hasn't been achieved,
Yes. Okay. So among the things which worked well, which other things can you think of?
which worked well.
What worked well? Yes. Related to IGPM's management and the supervision of the project.
Number one, which worked well,
Yes.
was, I can say, their training.
Their training.
Because us, it was a training.
Okay.
Yeah, their training.
Yes.
I think I've been to some areas, but you can see
Yeah.
that these wanted to help people.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if it wasn't their training and help,
Yes.
I think along the way could have erred. Yeah, but their training,
Yes.
I'm calling it training because we were on the learning process, and these were lecturers who were not getting fed up of you.
Yes.
And there was that component of saying, if anything, come back.
Okay.
You can call them at any time.
Anytime.
Yeah. There I can say, wow, it worked well for us.
Okay.
Yes.
P2, can you think of anything like what worked well in relation to IGPM's management and supervision of the project?
To me, I can say the quarterly reporting actually has helped us. If it was a reporting which was supposed to be done at the end of the project, you would find that you have a lot of errors on the.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What challenges emerged related to IGPM's management and supervision of your project? So one of the challenges you even started,
The milestone.
the milestone.
It was a big challenge to achieve.
So how was it a big challenge? You are saying there were a number of milestones, and for you to move to another milestone,
You have to achieve the
Achieve
first
the
one.
first
the
one.
first one.
Yes.
Yeah. You find the first one is attached to milestone number the 3rd.
Okay.
So if you don't achieve this one,
Yes.
this 3rd, even if you have managed it, it won't move.
It won't move.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like us, all the milestones were attached to the tricycles and the truck.
All the milestones.
All the milestones. It was about purchasing, deployment,
Yes.
correcting,
Correct.
then efficiency.
Wow.
So you find all these things started happening in the 3rd quarter.
Third quarter.
Yeah.
All of them attached to.
All attached to this. Because it was late procurement, the funds we received it late. By the time
Okay.
we are planning to buy, where we're supposed to buy, they had gone on holiday.
It was towards the end of the year.
Yeah, we received the money in December.
Oh, December.
Yeah, so December was a holiday. By the time they're coming, it was January.
Yes.
Finishing the procurement again, it also, we had a bit of a challenge there.
Okay.
Yeah. So by doing procurement and then to be sure that you are sending the money to the right person.
Yes.
Yeah, so it also delayed the milestones.
Okay. So this one relates to IGPM's management and the supervision.
Yes.
How they were managing and supervising.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. My next question is, what do you think could be improved about the design of the IGP? Is there anything about the implementation model you would change if given the chance?
If given a chance to change a few things,
Yes.
since this project was about the big and the small,
And the small. Yes.
what I would feel myself was, for the small, since they also wanted them to participate,
Yes.
they should be in a different model.
In a different model,
Yes.
just for the small.
For the small, we're not saying it should be cheap model,
Yes.
but a model that will suit them to. Yeah, because most of these who are foreign, it's about the model, the reporting model.
Yeah.
We managed because we had somebody who was understanding these things.
Okay.
Now those who didn't have, and they said employ one, and that guy, he tried 1 year, he was asking about 10,000.
10,000 per month.
Yes. So the model, like for me,
Yes.
who was a business oriented, okay,
Yeah.
my initial was about making money, it's
Yes.
business,
Yes.
and an NGO.
Yeah.
The reporting should be different,
Should be different.
you see,
Yeah.
because most of the questions they were asking me was related to an NGO.
Okay.
So I have to talk about even things that are not concerning me. So now you see, so that should have been different. And then two,
Yes.
I think bringing on board people who understand specifically what is it that I'm doing.
Okay.
You see, because these are different projects.
Yes.
If you bring one consultant, I don't think you will understand the whole. Should have been a specialized. Okay, this Miss Mwamba is business, is waste.
Yes.
They bring in somebody there who understands my business.
Yes.
You see?
Oh, yeah. Bringing somebody who understands. your
Yes, in
business.
there, so that even if when he's reporting, he understands what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like both of us now, it was a learning phase. They are trying to
That
learn
side
what
they
I'm
are
doing.
learning, you're also
I'm also
learning.
trying. Hey, so it was delaying by these correspondence now.
Oh, they were learning, you're also learning.
Yes.
So in retrospect, what changes could have been made to avoid delays in, for example, the startup phase? What could they have changed?
I think the first thing they should have done was in the milestone part,
Yes.
right? It should have been all right. If it says procure this,
Yes.
okay, and it has 10 points.
Yes.
If I've procured it, it's not local that I would procure it and bring it here.
Okay.
It's important. If I've managed all the transaction, the bill, the bank, what, and the shipping, what, that milestone should be achieved.
Okay.
So that it makes me move
To the other
to the other stage.
stage. Okay, then at the selection phase, what could they have changed?
When we applied,
Yes, when they were selecting the selection stage.
on the selection stage, I don't know, because they had their own way of doing things.
Okay.
So it was very difficult for me to say no. How
They would
they are
have
selecting,
done
they
that.
should, yeah.
Okay, so you didn't even know how they were selecting.
I think it was just, there were certain things that they were looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have managed those things,
Yes.
and then they would come and start asking questions.
Okay.
That's when you know, oh, this is how they are selecting.
Oh,
It was very difficult for you to know that this is the model.
yeah.
If we were all knowing,
Yes.
I think 3/4 would have managed.
Okay.
Yeah, those would just say, this is what they want, and then you give.
Yes.
And they would say, okay. But we didn't know.
Okay.
Even when you're going for interviews,
You didn't know.
they had their own way of doing things. But they would question on what you put on your report.
On your report.
Yeah.
Okay. So then on
Which
the
saved a lot of money.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then on the implementation phase, I know we've been talking about implementation phase. So what do you think could have been changed
On
just
implementation,
to avoid delays?
I think on most of this thing on implementation, it should have been when you have done what has been asked for.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Immediately you start.
Okay. Immediately you start.
Yes. Because this project has been extended and it has become costly because of these extensions.
Okay.
And then on implementation again, you find along the way
Yeah.
there are certain things which were not asked.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when you move, they say, you should also include this.
After you have already started.
Yeah,
implementing.
maybe you are even 5 kilometers.
Yeah.
Then they say, wait a minute,
Yes.
you can't go to 10.
Yes.
This should be included.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Then on the closeout phase, this phase we are in now, what do you think could have been improved to avoid delays?
I think what could have been improved on this
Yes.
was partly from the beginning.
From
the
the
milestone
beginning.
thing.
Okay.
If they can change how the milestone should be related to the next thing,
Yes.
that would help out. Actually, the extension wouldn't have even been there.
Extension.
Yes. Like I mentioned to say, 3/4 of these things,
Yes.
people, some didn't understand.
Yeah.
You see? How long it will take? Does this person doing this, he has talked about this.
Yes.
Is it so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, like I said, it was a learning
Process.
uh-huh.
You are learning.
That's
and
what has
also-
led even to these extensions.
No.
Because if there were people to say, look, you are procuring this equipment from China,
Yes.
this is the situation.
Okay.
Okay, look at this component and
Yeah.
begin from here.
Okay.
I think it would have sorted out this problem of extensions and becoming costly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing again, I think on the bank charges.
Bank charges.
Yeah, because I look at most of the money that are applied.
Yes.
You'd find maybe $10,000-15,000 has been swallowed by these unnecessary expenses.
The charges. Bank charges.
Yes, and
About 15,000.
wow, if you look at these small things,
Yes.
I thought that was a waste of money.
Yeah.
Even in the closing phase, we took the letter to close. They said, no, you have to do this. But the project is saying close.
Yes.
We were not told to say, if you are closing, this is what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
But they just say, go and close.
Yes.
I think the window of again, there should be a model.
Okay.
Yeah, to say, okay, now you have reached this stage.
Yes.
Can you begin doing this?
Do this. And
Yes.
this.
And these are the informations you need.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you are closing.
Yes. You find they'll say, okay, August we are closing. You begin to prepare from that.
Yeah.
Now, you have a lot of funds in the account.
Yes.
And there's this fear now they're saying, if you don't finish, it goes.
It goes back.
Now my question, should I start misusing those they're closing?
Of course not.
We're lucky because us everything was it. But the question of those who didn't.
Who did it?
So which means you start doing wrong things. This
That's
issue
correct.
of saying the money is going, they should have first then say, you do this quickly. And this is how you're going to do it.
Okay.
So that brought a lot of fear to many people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the money will go.
Yeah, but for us, we were set goals. We had only two major things. And we had them.
You had to.
So the only challenge we were looking at,
Yes.
how do you now, and the issue of sustainability.
Sustainability.
Yes. But now I was looking at my colleagues.
Yes.
Some up to now their equipments are not in. And then,
Now.
yeah, they are saying close. So which means there will be extensions and extensions. Because the guy has already put in money in those equipment.
Yes.
Yeah, which is IGP money. So IGP will not just say close. So
So
extensions,
meaning those who have to continue.
they have to continue. What are they going to do? How
Even
they-
you think even IGPM would still continue monitoring those even after
This is
closing?
now it becomes very expensive for the money. Because those will not be for free.
Yes.
And in fact, the closing itself, even this, I've seen him spend too much money. Up and down. Up and down. You see? They save the money. And you send too many people very expensive just for a small project.
Yeah.
10,000, you spend 20,000 for monitoring.
Monitoring.
That's not fair. The monitoring should be smart,
Yes.
on point to say this is what Mr. Banda is doing,
Yes.
and we have this money monitoring
Yes.
on period to save the money.
Yes. Okay. Do you have any additions, B2?
Yeah.
That one, the recommendations?
Um,
Yeah, like what changes could have been made to avoid delays? And we are looking at the closeout phase.
I think on the closeout phase, the problem which I've seen is there has been, instead of concentrating on one as an event, as a closeout event,
Yes.
there has been a lot of issues like, you have to report on gender.
Okay.
When you divert your attentions to closeout event, you come back to gender. So I think
Wow.
on those issues, they should have just incorporated on closeout event, forgetting about all other things.
Okay,
Yes.
just close out event.
Yes.
Because these are some of the things which were coming along the way.
Yes.
If you
They're
look at
just
the gender,
coming.
if you look at the gender action plan,
Yes.
it just came in.
On the way.
And
While
they
you are
say,
doing the study.
give us your gender action plan.
Mm.
Many people, I think you visit, they haven't submitted this.
Wow.
There are so many things that we are coming along the way.
Along the way.
Yes.
Additions.
And is,
Yes.
which again, for people to start thinking, it was delaying.
Oh.
To report on those things that were straightforward. Because now, it has become to relate to it.
Yes. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for this information.
And
We are-
lastly,
Okay.
I think our government and the American government, I know the Americans did their part very well.
Okay, the Americans.
Yes. I think ourselves here,
Yes.
we didn't do well.
Okay.
If there was this component of tax waiver, okay?
Tax waiver.
Tax waiver
Yes.
to a guarantee, why should the guarantee face problems when accessing that tax waiver?
They were facing problems.
We used to face problems. That also brought along the delays. And two, those delays
Yes.
in the money, there was no funds to say, okay, if this delays or costs goes up, this is how it's supposed to be done. There was nothing. Changes of prices. You understand?
During budgeting, you had the other prices.
Yes. And when you are buying, it's a different budget.
Different price. So in budgeting, you didn't put that the contingents in case of
If you look at
change
that,
in prices.
there was no, usually in our project, contingency.
No.
no
There was no
contingencies.
contingency, not even subsistence. I was supposed to follow for this equipment because I said, I know what I want.
Yes.
And knowing Chinese, they will agree.
Okay.
But if you are not there, what would come is different.
The Chinese.
Yes. The Chinese will show you something.
Okay. And you see it
You will see it.
online.
But the components inside, they are different. Because truly for me, I'm happy because most of the equipments, they were not from China.
Okay.
They came from Japan.
Oh,
And that was my idea.
oh,
Because I wanted strong shocks.
yes.
Everything was, I knew it was going to collect waste. And like these are just tricycles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now that thing of not us having something even to move,
Yes.
it led to those blue ones to come the way they came in. Because those blue ones, I wanted them automatic.
Automatic.
Because my idea was disabled cannot manage to step on everything.
Yes. Now they are manual.
They are money.
Okay.
You see, now we spoke. No, but I explained this.
Yeah.
But if I was there, I would have said, look, just even a day to see what is in there.
Yeah.
Even these who have ordered, I don't think there's anyone who have traveled to go and see what they are being given.
They're just waiting to receive.
At least there should have been one specialization person.
Yeah.
For those that are the big machines, you go and see.
Okay.
Others have bought, they are packed.
They can't be used.
If these tricycles, they came in boxes.
Okay.
We had to start assembling here. Now imagine if we didn't have the idea and all, which means I could have been, even now today, they could have been in boxes.
Yeah.
In the idea it was to buy,
Yes.
they come assembled.
Assembled.
Yes, but the cost
The
of
way cars come.
yes, the cost of bringing them assembled
Yes.
was way too much.
Okay.
So what I just did was make two
Okay.
for me as a sample.
Okay.
So there were only two made.
Only two made. Then you are looking at those now assembled.
Everything was assembled here. The truck offloaded here.
Yes.
We couldn't even hire a warehouse because there was no such component.
Yeah.
So we said here, then just employ maybe a guard on our own contribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for this information. We are going to sustainability part now. We would now like to turn to some broader questions about the sustainability of the IGP. Did the organization encounter any challenges that related to legal, institutional, political?
Yes.
And how did these challenges impact the overall effectiveness of your partnership? Let me say, for example, did your organization encounter any regulatory challenges like relation to water supply, sanitation, solid waste management within Lusaka or at the national level that have affected the implementation and effectiveness of this project?
This is why we heard me saying our government did not do a good job
Okay.
on the guarantees, those who were getting these funds.
Okay, the government did not do a great
Yeah,
job.
okay, maybe the Millennium Challenge.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me not even say, maybe the government is there. There
Yes.
are people who are implementing this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I think there are people who are tasked.
To implement this. Because there's the Millennium Challenge account Zambia. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the
Was-
Innovation Grant Program
IGP.
itself, IGP.
Yeah.
Then there were the managers of
Yeah,
this project.
and the managers. Was in the first place they were saying, if you find this challenge, come. We sort it out for you.
Who said that?
The Millennium Challenge.
Is it IGPM?
No, I'm talking about Millennium. They were saying,
Millennium Challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Now, when you find that problem, you report.
Yes.
The time it will take to be resolved.
It took a lot of time.
It was also affecting the project. Number one with us were at Lusaka City Council.
Okay.
Up to now, we are still grappling with what? The memorandum of understanding.
With Lusaka
Because
City
if I don't
Council.
have a proper memorandum of understanding, it will affect sustainability.
Yes.
Okay? We have talked about this to say, look, the memorandum of understanding of 1 year. I failed to get a loan because the memorandum was 1 year.
It was 1 year.
Where can I borrow? And that memorandum, even a councillor can come and terminate it.
The one for 1 year.
Yes.
So
Anyone can just come, stop. So we said for this project to move, we need to have this proper memorandum of understanding. That will see me move
Yes.
without worry about what would the council say today.
Yeah.
Because it's like we are living in a mess of the councillors.
Okay.
If the councillor wants to say, no, I'm bringing somebody here whom I want. So all these issues we have raised.
Yes.
Yeah. That's number one.
So looking at what you have just said, how did the organization address this regulatory framework to facilitate implementation of your project? How did you address it?
Like for the memorandum, we are just pushing it for ourselves. It's still standing.
You are still pushing.
Yes. There were so many things they were asked. The MOU, ZRA, ZEMA, those were their requirements.
Okay.
But now to acquire these
Yes.
becomes a problem. As if like these people don't know this project. ZRA, they are given a number for the project.
Okay.
But to clear just these tricycles, we ended up incurring $4,000
$4,000.
demurrage. The truck was just stuck at the border. Just to clear, to say, please clear.
Yes.
So when we went to say, look, there are this demurrage, they said it's not our business. That's what Millennium IGP said.
Oh, IGP.
He said it's not your business, it's not our business also that these things have stolen. Now imagine if my colleague didn't borrow money, which means we could have lost. We said, please, if you flip a border,
Okay.
they say, you write to ZRA, they respond, then it goes to Nakonde, then from Nakonde it has to come back to Lusaka. When you give an authority again, it has to go back to Nakonde.
Wow. So how did these frameworks affect the achievement of IGP
They
objectives?
really affected the achievement terribly. Because for us, these were supposed to be in phase 1.
Was supposed to be in quarter 1.
Yes, but they ended up in quarter 3.
Wow. You talked of someone borrowing money.
Yes, we did borrow the money
You borrowed the money to clear this.
to pay the demurrage because there was no money to pay. $4,000 for demurrage.
That time the grant wasn't given. You could not utilize part of the
We
grant money.
requested to say, okay, from this grant, we knock off certain things, this, because we know this we can manage. Let's have this paid.
Yes.
They said, no. You have to find your own money to clear.
To clear.
We were now stuck completely. And 40,000 kwacha is not cheap to find.
Yeah.
I thank God this man said, now let me speak to you. You can't lose these things.
Yes.
The truck came in, it was again after paying, to got stuck in at the warehouse. Because we were still waiting for ZRA. I think this issue of ZRA to
Yeah.
small projects, I think they are not fair. Because you go in the offices, they look at you as if like they are just seeing some rats there. No, baby, big ones, because they look at the big money.
Okay.
I think those regulatory frameworks,
Yes.
they didn't do well for us.
Okay.
Even now, we're supposed to have ZEMA 6 months ago.
6 months.
We have applied, they just say come. Even yesterday we were there, come. But we have paid. The drug has been inspected 3 months ago.
Okay.
But just to get the document.
The document now.
Now imagine if anything, so which means, according to IGP, I'm not supposed to use this truck.
According to IGP or according to ZEMA?
Well, even to them, ZEMA, I'm not supposed to use the truck, isn't it?
Yes.
Because it's not licensed.
You are still waiting for that license.
And I wait for the license for 3 months. Which is now we are in the closing phase, which means I should have packed. Where is the achievement and the sustainability? So now I'm using the truck because I'm under the auspice of what? Council.
Council. Okay. So that's how you've managed to sort out that issue.
This is
under
why
the
we are
auspice
even
of
moving
council.
ourselves, yes. Otherwise,
Okay.
if it was to wait for these organizations,
Yes.
up to now we could have found us stuck. Even when they say, oh, no, we'll help. I've never seen anyone walk into those offices and say, what is happening?
Yeah.
But we hear on a big project, they go.
There you go. That's right.
But what's wrong with you if you are saying you're targeting the poor? Why is it that in Zambia the poor should be People should sing just on the. Oh, we are the grassroots,
Yes.
and the people are happy because we are the grassroots. Let's also have the same share. And actually, it's us who they would go and they will now begin to fill up those positions.
Okay. Which positions?
Companies.
Or companies?
Those who have grown, they are going, and then we are going to fill up the.
Oh, okay. Okay. So my next
And also
question.
even in there in IGP as a consultant
Yes,
on small
in
project.
Okay. So are there any innovations from your IGP intervention that you think would be applicable to similar projects in the future?
Yeah, innovations in solid waste particularly are plenty.
There are plenty.
Yes.
That is in your IGP intervention.
Okay.
That you think would be applicable to similar projects in the future. In your innovations, IGP innovations.
Yeah. The other, in my innovation, what I was looking at doing compost.
Okay, that's something which you didn't do. Now, if we look at the innovations in your interventions, in your IGP intervention, the ones you think would be applicable to similar projects in the future, like in your innovations now in these innovations,
Yeah.
do you think there are some which would be applicable in similar projects in the future?
Mr. Peel, first, how are you sometimes to organize the sentence?
Yeah, or maybe I can read this and come again with the question. Are there any innovations from your IGP intervention that you think would be applicable to similar projects in future? Your innovations in this intervention, do you think there are some which would be applicable to similar projects in the future?
Yeah, I understand, but I'm trying to construct.
Okay. Yes.
Because it's our idea now that can be applicable in future.
Yes.
Yeah.
In future, similar projects.
Yeah. I think the idea of going especially in the peri-urban.
Yes.
This idea is really can be applicable in future to other compounds.
Okay.
Looking at the nature of the setups of our communities.
Yes.
Most of these who have big trucks and whatever
Yes.
cannot manage to access the roads in our communities.
Okay.
But this innovation of small thing
Yes.
can at least penetrate and the waste could be collected smoothly.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it can be applicable to other areas,
Yes.
that will be alright.
Okay. Anything else?
Or anything else apart from this, as long as it will help in
Yes.
those areas. Because if you go to Mtendere or just Kamanga here,
Yes.
you find some roads even this cannot go.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are small things that can, 4-wheel, which I've seen,
Yes.
that can help those areas to knowledge the waste that is lying there.
Okay. Anything else? B2? Okay.
I think what you said is okay, no?
Okay. And my next question, do you expect that your organization will complete your project before the expiration of their contract with MCAZ? Before the contract expires?
As we are done.
We already achieved.
We are just waiting for you to close us.
To close,
Yes.
you are done.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So please describe the sustainability plan for your intervention. How is the sustainability plan?
Okay. Our sustainability plan is, it's unfortunate that we are in the community, but it's fortunate because we manage this. Is the fear we had was the compliance level of people, the funds that we are collecting.
Okay.
cannot sustain the equipment expenses.
Oh,
And
services.
this, yeah, just even operation.
Operation.
This has been our biggest fear,
Okay.
to say, wow, already the funds has gone.
Yes.
Yes.
You understand, now we are managing our own salaries, we're managing our own fuel.
Okay.
So this now, how do we go?
Yes.
This now has been our issue.
Okay.
This is why we said for us to sustain this project, if we basically rely on this Kaunda Square,
Yeah.
it will not sustain.
Okay.
Yeah. So hence now doubling up our efforts. We have started. It's on that. You know, in Zambia, everything for you to be accepted, it takes time. Even when you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So my idea is, it's a pity that I don't have. You know, the hook lift track we have.
Yes.
It's useless if it has no container on top.
Okay.
And it came without a container. Because we couldn't put the money for the container.
Okay.
This, the money in the grant was very little,
Very.
that we could not add on a container.
Okay.
So now we are relying on the council containers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the council are just like you, as you said, they are hiring the hook lift
Yeah, actually it is to help on their areas.
in the area.
Since their track is down,
Okay.
that's when they would say, no, you have a hook lift, can you help us on those areas?
Okay.
So our sustainability was, look, there's a lot of opportunity for me to sustain this project.
Yes.
When I drive along Christie's Road, I
Yes.
still waste time. The only question is, who can pay me for that waste?
Okay.
I've seen a lot of projects going around.
Yes.
If I had containers,
Yeah.
and this is why I wrote a letter to the council to say, can I have so many containers? I rehabilitated them. I went to the dump site, took pictures of anything that has been thrown there
Okay.
in terms of containers,
Yes.
so that I can go and salvage them out,
Yes.
then rehabilitate
Yes.
for this use.
Okay.
Because if I can place even at Levy here, just one container,
Yes.
as they are doing their rubbles there,
Yeah.
they put in a container. I
Yes.
lift, I charge them.
Yeah.
I'll be able to sustain the project.
Yes.
Even on the roadside, Great East Road, those guys they sweep, you could still see powers.
Yes.
Or just say, when are you sweeping? I drive, put a container down there,
Yes.
sweep load. When they are done, I lift. They gave me something.
Yes.
Those are. This is where I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are the major risks that threaten your ability of your organization to meet the goals of this sustainability plan? Some you mentioned one of them was you are looking at the funds might not be able to sustain.
Well, yeah.
maintain
Number
the
one
equipment. Yes.
was the fear of the funds that we are collecting in the
Yes.
community.
Yes.
But now we have realized we are breaking even, because we started pondering on that for a long time.
Okay.
Because we realized that the project's funds will fail.
Yes.
So what's the way forward? So we
Yes.
started working out on those. We are
Okay.
charging 1 kwacha. Now we are charging 1 kwacha. I think, is it 1 kwacha 2? 1 kwacha
One quarter tungwe.
per day, which
Okay.
translates into 40 kwacha
What the quarter?
per month.
Okay.
So those are the areas we are trying to sell to. And then the other areas is to scale up to other areas
Okay.
where we can at least break even.
Okay. So what would you say would be the major risks? One of them is what you've said concerning the monies.
Yes. The second one is these regulatory frameworks,
Okay.
if they are not attended to.
Yes.
Because for me to help to operate, I need that.
Yes.
But if it's not attended to properly, it's a major risk. Yeah.
Okay.
More especially for me, it's about just what the memorandum
Memorandum.
that I'm waiting for.
Okay.
Yeah.
My next question is, in what ways have you worked with IGPM, MCA Zambia, LCC, Lusaka Water and Storage Company to ensure that your intervention will be sustainable after the end of the compact?
I'll start with the Millennium Challenge and
Yes.
IGP.
Yes.
We are saying, look, help us to have this regulatory framework in place, like the licensing.
Yeah.
And on the ZRI, my fear is that truck, yes, it may have a white book,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
but as long as it appears that it's a temporal permit, in
Yes.
future they may come and collect it.
Today.
You see, that
Okay.
even if they say don't worry,
Yes.
it's still a worry to me, because there will be somebody there who would not understand that there was this project.
Yeah.
So I want them to have it in a written from ZRI to say no, it's phased out.
No. Okay.
Number two, council.
Yes, how you have worked with the council. That is to ensure that your intervention will be sustainable after the end of the compact.
Yes. On the council, if only I can be given the correct memorandum of understanding, at least if it is 5, you need to assess. Why should I be given a year? If I'm already engaging the council on this memorandum of understanding, and you are saying, IGP, help us. Millennium Challenge, help us. So we have engaged them, I've engaged the councillor, over
We've
the
engaged the councillor, the council.
yes, including Millennium Challenge and IGP. They know our story.
You have even got a letter to IGP.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is not the first letter, it may be third. You see? So these are the only issue. Otherwise, the rest,
Yes.
we can manage, and maybe any other things. But on this one, I don't want to fail.
Okay. So do you believe that the implementing entities, this is Lusaka City Council, Lusaka Water and Sewage Company, have the institutional capacity and resources necessary to effectively oversee and manage IGP interventions in future?
I don't see it if they remain at their national level
Okay.
or on their provincial levels. I don't see it.
You don't see it.
This money will still be wasted money.
Okay.
I'll give you a lot of examples on the water and sewage.
Yes.
Already they are putting up those millions. To us, it's billions in Kwacha.
Yes.
Drain.
Yes.
When I drive there, I say, wow. But the community
Yes.
are not engaged fully.
The community.
Yeah, they shouldn't leave these things. Council should not leave these things, water and sewage, to Millennium Challenge.
Okay.
Millennium Challenge would go.
Yes.
They are the ones there to engage the community. But now it's like if there is no Millennium Challenge, they can't even. That's why there's a lot of theft.
That's how it is now.
Allah. We are called on the meetings when there's Millennium Funds. Now what about when they go?
Okay.
If you hear there's a meeting, they are calling is Millennium Challenge.
Okay.
I think it brings a lot of fear to me.
Yes. So you feel they don't have the necessary resources?
Well,
capacity.
they may have the resources,
Okay.
but they don't have the people to push that. On what? Local level.
Local level.
I quarrel with the council every day, even on Tuesday. I was quarreling with the head of unit.
Okay.
I said, you people, why should it be council at the civic center?
Okay.
Why? Council should be where? At the community.
Community level.
And look, they still have a council office at stage 1.
Okay.
They still have a council office here.
There's an office here?
Even in the community, there's an office. And there where you came in, where there are bars there.
Yes.
Those used to be council offices. And there are few council offices here. I was saying, look, if you want to handle the issue of waste,
Yes.
in this criminal disposal of waste, let's have one officer
Okay.
and one police officer, one council,
Yeah.
permanent in those offices,
Okay.
who can be helping out in drainage, even sanitation.
Yeah.
Already they have laid the pipes in the counter square stage 1.
Okay.
Look at what is happening in those water there. The pipe is here, the owner of the house is there. So here, water is being wasted.
Yeah.
So these, but
Okay.
let them come back to the offices. Look,
The offices.
even this thing the president declared, I said, yes, he has declared it, but it won't work.
They keep it under clean?
Yes, even Malevio right still declared, he said it won't work. Even in H3 wrong,
Yes.
it won't work. Because why? You focus it there.
Okay.
If you read on my push cards, there says clinic starts from where? From your home.
From home.
It's as people mess up the town, but if I know that I must be smart
Yes.
from home, even there I'll be smart.
Yeah.
How do you expect me kungandamposa? Anyhow. Then I go into town, you expect me to be smart. My mindset.
Charity begins at home.
That's the thing. So even our water and sewage, they have been given a lot of money, but let them do their way. They are too smart for nothing.
Okay.
Yes. You can't. You don't want to come 200,000. The talk is like that. Buy a utility vehicle that will make a move in the community. Normally, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, at the poor vehicle. Do you know the consumption of fuel for that thing? I think in a moment pera in the Rama. New now at a Mini Cooper. To 1,400 too.
Yes.
Okay, those is about service.
And
No problem for Ranger. And the service is how much? Pray for Kumfa, but let's do the way. Even you. How do you drive a big car? Everyone won't be right about it. But you are in a air condition. Direct. And I'm a title now free. Two main directors. Oh, overseas. Oh, okay.
Our cities. So, do you foresee your intervention still being operational 1 year from now?
Yes.
Why do you say so? Why do you say so? Like, what factors will ensure the program's sustainability?
One of the reasons is that we have one of the measures that we have been put in place to ensure that the project continues after the IGP is that the user fee has been increased.
The user fee has
from
been
30
increased.
kwacha to 40 kwacha.
From how much?
From 30 kwacha,
30 kwacha to 40.
40 kwacha per month.
Okay.
Yes. And we are actually even trying to negotiate with other stakeholders so that we can be collecting from them for a fee.
Okay. One. Any additions?
Yeah, and we are looking forward to extending to other areas so that this project continues.
Okay. So, do you have any additional thoughts on these or related topics that you did not already discuss during our interview? Any additional thoughts?
I think I don't. There has been so many things. I don't know where my friend. Additional thoughts is just that we would want to see this project once more again.
Okay.
Yeah, and people they have done what they can.
Okay.
Yeah, but let's have specific people involved.
Okay.
So that we implement these things, because 2 years for the project, I think it's too much for me.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. We really appreciate for allowing us to talk to you.
We are grateful and tell the Americans that we are very happy for their money.
Okay.
We'll try our best that this taxpayers' money we sustain the project. The issue of sustaining the project.
Oh yeah.
So that we can also continue helping out on our poor boys in the streets to find some employment.
Yes.
Within the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much.